Hey everyone, back with Project Cars 2. This is the WSCR Round 2, Ferrari 488 GT3 at Daytona. I qualified P1 in the GT3 class, P15-16 overall. As you've seen in the previous video, I'm not worried about overall, it's how I finish within my own class. So, starting lap 1, turn 1, a little bit of contact, pretty clean. I actually started this a couple times because I was kind of getting warmed up. It had been a day or two since I had driven this car, but still getting familiar with the new steering wheel, getting a lot better with it. Trying to get some positions here. These are the LMP2 and 1 cars that I'm not battling against necessarily, because I don't care where I finish in regards to them, but if I can get ahead of them and put more gap between me and the GT3 cars behind me, that'd be even better. As you can see, there's a couple GT3 cars back here, but I still have some LMP cars behind me, which is helping out quite a bit. Now, 10.5 minutes into the hour-long race, still P1 in the GT3 class. Coming into this turn, brake a little too late, and first, real big mistake of the race. Dropped me down to P3 in my class. Shouldn't be too bad getting this guy back because my exit was still decent. He had a poor exit, and then hoping to get in the slipstream of the guy up here in P1 and to take that position back, see what I can do going into turn 1. It was a little aggressive, gave him a little bump, but ended up getting that position back. Maybe not the fairest of ways, but it's just the AI. I try to be as clean as I can. With it being AI, I'm not as pressured as I am racing against other players, but still try to treat the other drivers respectfully like I would in a real race against real people. But got that position back in P1. In the GT3 class, 14th overall. Got 47 minutes and 50-some seconds left to go. Almost 20 minutes into the race. Enjoying these long straights to give at least one of my hands a break. I have a really bad carpal tunnel. Coming into this first turn, I screwed something up. I either braked too late or I didn't push the brake pedal in hard enough. Still getting used to the pedal. A lot different than the previous wheel that I had. Anyway, that dropped me down a couple positions, down into P3. See if I can get them back on this lap. I'm enjoying the fact that I'm just not storming away, but we're all staying real close to each other. The plan for this race is a 0 pit stop race. The last race I thought everyone would be pitting at least once, so I scheduled a pit stop, only took on enough fuel for about half a race distance. And it turned out like the top 3 didn't pit stop at all. So this time I took on a full fuel load for the whole race. Tires, I selected soft slick, and they seemed to last the whole race, or that many laps. So we're going to see what I can do with these two, hopefully get those positions back, and like I said, no pit stops scheduled for this race, but we'll see what happens, because this race does have some strange happenings in it. Alright, we're almost to the halfway point of the race. Was planning for no pit, but apparently some rain is on the way, so we are going to be pit stopping more than likely for wet tires. So I'm going ahead and trying to carefully select wet tires for my next pit stop while trying to race. Kind of messed around with the menus here to refamiliarize myself. I hadn't had to make any in-race changes in quite a while, so of course trying to set it to change from soft slicks to wet tires, no fuel. I don't need any extra fuel to get to the end of the race, and no damage repair, because right now I don't have any damage to repair, and if I get any, it'll probably be minor between now and then, so nothing I want to waste any more time on. I just want to pull in, get some wet tires on, and get back on the road. So the rain has officially started to fall. Now it's just a matter of time of determining when should I pull in and change over from the slicks to the wet tires. Still pushing on. I don't think it's quite ready for the wet tires. I got P2 and the GT3 series right behind me. Everybody, all of them are still on the slicks, but I believe it's getting really close to time to pull in for wet tires. So as I said, I did decide to go ahead and pit on the same lap I was just talking about pitting. It's getting bad enough that I was ready to pull in and get some wet tires on. This pit stop should just be a quick tire change and back on the way once I finally get to my pit box. And there you have it. I guess it wasn't just tires, some kind of mechanical issue popped up during the pit stop, so now I have to wait for this repair. So instead of the pit only being like 20 seconds long, it's going to end up being over a minute. I don't know if this happened because I selected the strategy wrong, or if this is something that just happened in the pits, because I'm almost positive I had it set not to repair any damage whatsoever. Coming out, I'll find out. I had 0 on the front, 0 on the rear, and 1 on the engine. It's still the same, so I apparently told it not to repair any damage, but something happened during the pit stop. It's going to set me back quite a bit. Coming out of the pits in P6, still a couple of those drivers, if not all of them, will still have to pull in and change over to the wet tires, so hope is not gone that I can still win this for the GT3 class, so just see what I can do to catch up and overtake these other 5 drivers. 17.5 minutes to go, still running in P6. The guy in front of me though is in the pit stops, as you can see in the indicator in the top left, so that's going to get me up to P5. Hopefully the other 4 drivers still have to pit. Even if they do, I'm not confident I'm going to come out ahead of them due to that repair that I had in the pit stop, because they're probably just pulling in for new tires as well. Still got a little bit to go. Hopefully I can get a podium. Not looking like it's going to be a win unless they pit and have some issues as well. Just under 10 minutes left in the race. I'm now about 8 seconds behind P4 in the GT3 class. I've been about 8 seconds behind them for the last, 4 or 5 minutes. Haven't been able to gain anything, but haven't been losing anything either. So still have 9.5 minutes to make up that 8 seconds. Hopefully I can catch up, overtake, and get P4. Highly doubt a podium is even going to happen at this point, or a top 3 finish in the GT3 class, but if I get P4, that would be great. This race has kind of gone in the wrong direction for me once the rain happened and then the mechanical failure in the pit stop. Close to 5 minutes left in the race. I'm now 6 seconds behind P4, so I've gained a little bit, but not enough for where I'm going to actually catch him by the end of the race. Still pushing hard. At this point I've almost got nothing to lose, so I'm even kind of risking it in the corners and maybe pushing a little too hard. If I spin, I spin. If I don't, and I get a really good exit out of the turn, maybe I could gain some even more time. Getting close to that point where I can see the other driver on the track. Once I could see him, I feel like it'll be even better, because for some reason it's so much different when you can actually see the person on the track. You feel more motivated to push a little harder and to catch up to him. But right now, floating about 6-7 seconds. Now it's down to like 5 seconds, so I am gaining a little bit. See what I can do in these final 4.5-5 minutes of the race. It's now the final lap of the race. I am literally just like 2 seconds behind P4 for the GT3 class. I'm still trying to catch him. I'm really hoping on this lap I can do it. I can see him on track. This is the last lap, last chance to do it. If I can get close, there's 2 straights, one coming up here really soon, and then the back straight, which both have kind of a curve in them anyways, embankment. So if I can gain on him there, then possibly overtake before the start-finish line. Running a little wide there, letting the lap cars through, getting blue flags, which is slowing me down through the corners. These LMP cars, for some reason, some areas they're really slow where I'm quicker than them. Braking zones and then on the straights, I seem to, for some reason, be able to overtake them, maybe just because I'm in their slipstream. But see what I can do. Here comes the first straight. See if I can get any slipstream at all. Looks like it's not going to happen. You guys getting too far ahead of me. But the gap is now right at 3 seconds. Got about half a lap left to see what I can do. I'm really wanting this P4 position. I was pushing really hard trying to get it. And if I don't get it, it's going to be a little disappointed, but I have been trying the best I can. Coming on to the final straight, you can see the LMP car in front of me, then the car in front of that is the one I've been trying to catch up to and overtake. On the final embankment here for the final straight, and gonna see what I can do. And then the strangest thing happens. Right before the finish line, both that GT3 car and the LMP car pull into the pits. Gives me P4. I have no idea why they did that. The race was literally over. They pulled into the pit stop. I didn't care about the LMP car, but that GT3 car pulled into the pit stop right at the end and gave me the P4 I've been fighting to chase down for the last 12 or 13 minutes. Just handed it to me. So I believe that puts me 4th in the championship after round 2. I got 2 rounds to go. The only thing I have to get to advance to the World Endurance Championship or the Endurance Series is P3 or better. So getting pretty close. How I do in these next 2 races is really going to determine whether I'm going to make it through this series or not. I think I'm scrolling through. That's the LMP2 class. Took me a second to realize I was looking at LMP2 on the screen there. But here in a second I get to the GT3 class. There we go. So P4, I have 28 points. P3 is 33, so I'm only 5 points behind. Not very much to go. So see what I can do in the next 2 rounds. Hopefully wrap this series up and move on to the Endurance Series. Thank you for watching the video, supporting my channel, my podcast, and look forward to putting on another video here in the near future.